Hello, this is Modern Pioneer here again, here to talk to you about an automatic watering system for your quail. Now, if you've already been into quail for a while, you know that the most efficient system is one that has these cups with the little nipple triggers or whatever they're called hooked up to the PVC and then an inline. If you're not quite that far, you're probably just using something like this, or just maybe a regular basin or bowl with water that you got to feed every day. This is kind of annoying. They get poop in it, it falls over, it's just a total pain. So a lot of people go to the system in the back. Problem is the water reservoir. Where are you going to put it? How much is it going to hold, etc. This is where you can really capitalize on getting this self-reliant, only requiring you to mess with it maybe once a week or so, aside from checking on the eggs daily. So looking around YouTube and everywhere, I've seen several designs utilizing a 5-gallon bucket such as this, where they will put something like this, an O-ring or just a coupling to go through it, seal it with the O-ring, and then, you know, hook that up to some plumbing work. This is 1/2 inch, and then tying it directly into the system, as you see. So originally that's what I was gonna do, but even though I raise quail, doesn't mean I want people to know or I want to look at it all day. So as you can see, I do live in a suburban environment on just under a 1/2 acre or an acre of land, and you know, I'm raising quail, but I don't want to look at this, the water basin. So originally I was gonna hang a hook right here, and the problem was getting it high enough to have gravity work for me. So I was gonna put it on the fence or whatnot, but you know, do you really want to look at this? You know what I mean? Do you really want to look at this all the time? And then it's kind of like a beacon telling everybody like, hey, look what I've got going on over here. So I came up with this idea. Bam. So this is just a standard 5-gallon water jar. I was in the military and we use these all the time. You need one to be able to get your hand in there to tighten the coupling to run your pipe work and everything. But here it is. Now, isn't that going to be a whole lot better than a 5-gallon bucket just hanging from the side of your quail hutch? I think so. So let's get to it. Okay, before we get started, let's kind of get an overview of what we're going to do to achieve this and the parts needed. So I have in front of me all the parts I think I need to do this. So I have a 1/2 inch threaded union fitting right here. I have 3 1/2 inch hose clamps, a shut-off valve so then I can easily cut the water off and then fill it from, you know, take the jug and go fill it wherever I can. I have 2 1/2 inch barbed fittings, thread and slip, to go on each side of this to connect to the 1/2 inch nylon piping. And then these 2, you only need 1 of these over here. I got 2 because these are going to be the very next piece coming into the union right over here, coming out of the water jug. So I got both because I couldn't decide if I wanted to come straight down at a 90, depending on how far back I can get it sitting in the quail hutch, or just go straight out. I'm going to go with this, so then hopefully not need that. But you will need another one of these to connect it to your PVC line in the quail hutch. And then permanent marker, PVC, or just, you know, pipe cutters, screwdriver, flat Phillips head, and then An 1.25" hole saw cutter is what will fit coming over here. Okay? All right, let's get started. Okay, I've already decided where I want the outlet to be on the jug, and I'm making that determination according to where the air hole is. So with this container, I can turn this part and release the pressure in there, which improves the water flow. So in regards to that, I want to set my drainage line to be right here, back here. So I'm going to have it as down as I can. So if this side will be the down, right? Now I started to get my hole going, and now I just want to make really sure this is where I want it, because these things are not cheap. I'm sure you can find them somewhere for like 20 bucks or something at military surplus store. I, however, said take my money and bought it straight off Amazon for like $45. So anyway, there's that. This does pain me a little bit. Okay. So again, why I had to go with this this type of jug is because I need my hand to be able to get down in there and lock this nut from the inside. Now I could use my wife's littler hands, but I mean, so let's see. So here we go. You can see the hole. Looks pretty good. Perfect. Perfect. Now you see how there's a little residue right there. I recommend just getting a little razor blade and chipping that away, so then it doesn't, you get the most life out of your O-ring. Yeah. Scrape it away. Perfect. Alright, and that is exactly what we want. So, now, the way this works is can't decide if I want this from the inside or the outside. It's your choice. Because if I do that, then it wouldn't be so much poking out. But then if I went this way, I think the water would drain a little bit better. And it's your decision, because this can thread either way. You can thread it here, or you can thread it here. It's not dependent upon that. Okay, that was a bit of a bear, but once I was able to get it, it is gonna do as I want. So the important thing is to make sure that you really get a good seal. Get some light on it. That you really get a good seal around here, which is, what that O-ring is meant to do. So also this is counterclockwise, so when you tighten it, you go the opposite way. Alright, now what I'm going to do is integrate my 90 right here. Now, just to make sure I get this completely as watertight as I can, I'm going to apply some thread tape. So whether you use thread tape or not, it's always better to apply the tape as you're going, let's see if I say this right, with the threads. So as you tighten whatever you want the thread tape to be on, it will turn in a way that wraps the tape further, tightening it rather than the opposite way, if that makes sense. So let's see, this is going in clockwise, so therefore I'm going to want to put the tape this way on it, so as it tightens it puts the tape further on it. Alright, let's do it. Okay. Also, too, this is when you realize the reason why the union fitting is cross-threaded or reverse-threaded is so that when you tighten this, it doesn't untighten your union. Makes sense. Okay. All right. Perfect. So that is exactly what we want. Okay, here we are out at the quail hutch. I went ahead and made or connected the shutoff valve with the thread and slip. So now what I need to do is go ahead and cut the pieces needed for the shutoff valve. So let's go ahead and put this in place. Okay. So you can see, at least I hope you can, that this is going to come back here and then go here. So then I'll be able to shut this off, remove it, and then go fill the 5-gallon back up whenever I want. So, knock it out. You may have to loosen these just a little bit just to get them up there. If they come undone, don't freak out. You didn't break it. Just apply a little pressure, pinch it, and then it'll catch. So it helps to twist it a little bit. You can twist it into place. There we go. Perfect. Okay, this is what we got so far. I went ahead and put the shutoff valve on like you guys saw, and now before I go any further, I just want to make sure there are no leaks. So I've got there are no leaks that we can see, so that is phenomenal. And let's see if we get water. Perfect, just what we want. Fantastic. Okay, we are done. And for me, just coming up with this idea, I would say it went very well. So here's the finished product of this automatic 5-gallon watering system for this quail hutch I have. Low profile, not an eyesore. I mean, shoot, don't even know it's there. Protected from the elements with the hutch. And now in the back you can see, so right here, there does seem to be a little leak right here, but I can't tell if it is from the union or daggone me overfilling the bucket and just, you know, water draining from right there. So I'll be paying close attention to it, but right now it seems like there are no leaks. Yay. And then right here you can see just to the shutoff valve, and then on down into the system. So let's see what it looks like from the inside. So this is supplying water to both of my runs. So it comes in here and then comes all the way down into these little cups. Now if you're not familiar with these poultry cups, there's a little yellow trigger right here, nipple, whatever, that they just press and it fills with water automatically. Not filled, but as long as it's pressed, it'll fill. And then, you know, so there you go. So this continues all the way into my next run. And they're already figuring it out. So, phenomenal. Alright guys, well, I'll post like a parts list in the description so you guys can replicate this should you wish. And if you really liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and like and share. Thank you. Be safe.